like and subscribe. The videos are great. Victor, you're doing an awesome job.
Yeah, click left corner. There's the subscribe button. Hit it. I'm Victor's biggest fan.
Okay, let's start off. This conversation will be about how I entered in NTT. I got a lot of questions. Why I decided to go to NTT, and how I feel in the team after my first months in the team. And today we talk about the first meeting we had. It was in Brussels at the start of the Tour de France. I was not participating, but I just live around the corner. And I had some calls with Douglas and Dan before. And in Brussels we had the first meeting. And I think it was quite interesting. We have Douglas Ryder in the call. He's the manager of the team. He was in the team from the start when it was MTM Quebec. I don't know which year they started, but they are in the peloton for a long time. And we have Daniel Green. He's the head of performance, the head of the coaches in the team. And as you will get to know in this conversation, there is a lot of performance going on. So maybe, Doug, you can introduce yourself a little bit.
Yeah, so I'm Douglas Ryder. I created this African World Tour cycling team from a continent that never really existed in cycling before, with the dream of taking African riders to the highest level in the sport, creating opportunities for individuals to just have an opportunity to race at the highest level in world cycling. We were a second division team for 3 years and got an entry into the Tour de France, our first entry into the Tour de France in 2015. And at the end of that year, we were the #1 second division team in the world, and then got an opportunity to be in the World Tour. And then, for the last 4 years, we've been in the World Tour, and we've just had our license renewed for 3 years. And we continue to strive to become one of the best teams in the world. Hence the reason we have you, Victor, as a part of our team going forwards.
Thanks. And then what about you? How did you get in the team? What is your history?
Yeah, so I've worked with a few other teams in the past, with Trek Segafredo, also with the BMC racing team for a few years, and then came across and was lucky enough to be able to join what was Team Dimension Data in 2019. In a role as head of performance innovation and head coach, and been with them since last year and this year. So yeah, love being involved in this team, and it's such a forward-thinking and advanced team, which is really nice to be part of.
When we met in Brussels, I had a talk with Douglas because he was the manager, obviously, and he is the manager, and then was also there. I think it makes a lot of sense if you are a time trial guy. It's all about numbers and data, and especially in the team Dimension Data before NTT now, it's a real big data company. And as you have seen in my previous vlog, they provide us with a lot of tools to analyze things. The talks I had before on the phone call, I really, in my mind, I was already with one leg in the team. And I went to this conversation. Of course, I was nervous because if you want something to turn out good, you are a little bit nervous. Maybe, guys, you can talk about what your expectations were of the conversation and how it went.
I mean, I think for us, it was having a conversation with you, was a real privilege. Actually, when we've got some of our organizations behind us, like BMC, that have built some of the fastest bikes in the world. We wanted to have a rider that I guess could showcase, that and create that opportunity to show what it is like to have one of the fastest riders in the world over an hour, on that equipment, and to try and improve it. And we're a team that is always focused on continuous improvement. We challenge ourselves. We are super critical about how we do things, and of course, we want to be one of the best in the world. I think so. That was a privilege for us to have you interested in our team. I think our culture of our team in the market is such that people know that we use our success to do good, to mobilize people on bicycles through the Quebec charity. There's such a purpose, behind it. And so we want to be successful. We want to, be a high performance team that races at the highest level. And to have you potentially joining us and be interested to join us, and so that you can ride on BMC bicycles and challenge them and challenge us to be better and to improve our time trialing and our team time trialing we saw this as a massive opportunity to lift the whole team in that environment that we struggled in. So yeah, it was we were also nervous about the conversation, because you might think that we deal with people all the time and have interviews all the time, which we do. But when there's certain individuals that you'd really like to have in the team, then it's that nervous energy is quite exciting. So it was a great conversation.
Yeah, just from my side as well, Victor, we had certainly seen your results previously. We knew what your capabilities were, without question. But it was the first time that I'd met you personally. So for me, it was really nice to see how detail focused you were, to see how much you actually apply yourself to your craft. So, your knowledge level already about altitude, about training, about all the equipment, all those type of things, and Doug and I certainly spoke a lot when we were looking to, the recruitment for last year, to make sure we had guys that were going to be improving or potentially, able to continue to improve in the years that they join the team. But also we're looking to develop a culture and a culture around our riders being detail orientated, about being dedicated. And seeing that as being a real plus and a real bonus. So for me, once I got the chance to meet you personally as well, and then understand a little bit more about who you were, then couple that with the results that you had previously, it seemed like certainly a no-brainer to me.
Also, like Douglas mentioned, for me, it's not the first thing you look at when you want to join a team, but it is a big advantage when you have BMC as a sponsor, when you have Envy as a sponsor. I think Envy, they are by far the most aerodynamic wheels there are on the market. There are lighter wheels, but as a time trialist, you look to aero wheels. You have ASOS that has won multiple team time trials. So as a time trialist, all the equipment was also the highest level. So that was also a big plus for me. And I knew already before, because I talked with some riders, especially with Gaspar and Julien Vermoten, that was at that point in the team. And they also said, like, this is a team for you because you are crazy about numbers and they know how to handle numbers. And that was what was actually that really turned my head crazy when you guys showed up with numbers about me, about my results, and a trend line, and then you said, because of these numbers, we know you are an interesting rider. Maybe then you can tell us a bit more about how these data analyzes work and show us a bit about it.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll just share my screen with you and show you. So, I mean, we certainly looked to what we could do and what sort of tool we could put together. I'm assuming you can see my screen there now. Yeah. So we were looking to put together a tool that would help us to recruit riders in the future. So, because certainly what we want to know is everyone has access to the Pro Cycling Stats database. Everyone has access to most of the riders, talking to the riders, familiar with them in the peloton. And so you can build a bit of a picture on people's history. But what we want to see is, as a rider, are you trending to get better? So what's your trajectory at the moment? Are you looking to get better, or potentially are you starting to peak in your results and maybe even come down off a peak in your results? So we can start to try to extrapolate into the future based on your history. And so NTT were able to work with us here and put together, in this case last year, what we had was this Tableau reader, a program that NTT built for us. And that's why they're such a fabulous partner for us, because they really actually help resource us, not just provide the income and the money to support us, the sponsorship, but they really provide a lot of resourcing to help us improve and help us develop the tools that otherwise would be very challenging for us to develop. But this, you can see, is your outline that we had for you last year, Victor, and you can see pretty clearly that your trend line is on the rise in terms of the number of points that you're looking to win per year, or you've been able to win per year. And the number of wins that you've been having per year is this orange line, and we can see that's fairly stable. But you still did have quite a few wins last year. So we look at this and we basically go, okay, for us the primary consideration is points, and then secondary to that wins, and sometimes in the reverse order, but they're tightly aligned. But for us, you're a very interesting prospect based on the fact that we can see you're continuing to improve based on this, and you probably have a few more years where you will continue to improve and get more and more results.
Yeah, I mean, just on that, if I may, Victor, I mean, if I can just interject, I mean, it's, you know, we are fortunate, as Dan says, to have a partner that, you know, looks at advanced data analytics in support of our team's recruitment, and so that we can have, when we have meetings with you as a rider, we can have meaningful conversations with you. I think that's critical, you know, so that we can have a real conversation about things. But the fact that you said that, you know, and what really has interested me in the past is that riders that care about, you know, the bike and the equipment that they're riding, because that does show, you know, interest in your career, your future, you know, and wanting to work with an organization that has great partners and great products that you can support, develop, and you know, and I guess realize your best performances on. So those two are very important to me, and the fact that you were so interested in the equipment that we had, and then of course, you know, on top of that, how professional we were in I guess in that meeting and prepared, you know, those are things that, you know, that I guess bring people together.
Obviously, it was a really good match from the start, and yeah, for me, it only got better, because sometimes when you have a talk, you still want to see if it really turns out to be the same as you hope or expect it to be. From the meeting in Tokyo in the first training camp, everything was according to plan. We do have quite a lot of meetings also now in the Corona days, but I think these meetings are super interesting, especially now they keep the team together, but also they are super informative. The whole team is there, every staff member is there, and I think that's important to get the general level of the team super high.
Yeah, I mean, if I can, you know, I think we're one of the unique teams that drives a unity and a family, and I think that's what you've seen in this team, you know, and it comes from the management downwards, and it comes from the bottom upwards as well, you know, that consistency, that trust, that, you know, the relationships that we have. I think a lot of teams probably function in silos in different areas. Riders talk to riders, you know, they don't unite and connect as one team. I mean, the fact that we've got that rainbow collaboration group of all 100 people, including even our continental team riders on there, just so that we can understand each other, know about each other in these different times. You know, we have 29 riders sitting in 15 different countries. So how do you create that consistency, that unity, that one team spirit? And I think that goes across all the staff and the riders, which is important, so that we can support each other and create hope, and you know, and also be better connected. So, but also you guys are so experienced. I mean, your talk on altitude training and heat acclimatization, you know, sharing the knowledge that you have, that you've spent years, you know, understanding, developing, and sharing that with the rest of the team, that makes a team. And that's what we have, which is great.
Yeah, and that's been really fantastic, Victor, that your willingness to share all the information that you put together, because it's through all your hard work and dedication and reading and studying and collaborating with all these different people that you've been able to build up this knowledge base. And so for you to be able to share it with the rest of the team so easily, it's you know, that's fantastic for us. It's a great lead, and it starts to have everyone help and open up even more and more and become more of a team.
I think it's of course interesting to share the knowledge. I think it's all been super good till now, and I think as a team we are coping quite well with this lockdown time, especially because we are such an international team, which makes it probably harder to still be connected with each other. But of course, like you said, Douglas, we have all the with Alcatel Lucent Enterprise, we have all the possible technologies that provide us with applications like Rainbow to be in touch at a super high level. I'm looking forward so much to go back into competition, and it's still a long time, but I think the team is super motivated, and the team is motivated, and every individual is motivated. So it should be a great end of the season, I think.
I think everybody's so excited to want to, you know, to not see each other through a screen. You know, they want to physically be, you know, near each other and in each other's company. You know, the cycling team is all about movement and moving people and stuff around the world. You know, it's a crazy time. And if you think that now, coming into the final part of the season, just the World Tour calendar, before we've added the international calendar, the World Tour calendar is 110 race days in 100 days, with 3 Grand Tours, 15 classics, 5 stage races. So that's just the World Tour. So we're going to race 110 days of racing in 100 days. So it shows that we'll be running, a double, a triple program. And so this team is going to have to be connected in a deeper, better way than ever. And I think, with the collaboration that we've had as a complete team, everybody is so willing and eager to get back to that and wants to be back at that level and being in competition again. So yeah, we're all excited for it. Everyone's motivated. We've all worked on our weaknesses and to try and improve ourselves. So it's going to be fun, hard, challenging, logistically. It's going to be tense, but we've got the right spirit, I think, and the right people to enjoy it and make it count.
Yeah, I also think, because of this super dense schedule we will have, we as a team have a benefit, in fact, opposite to other teams, because we have, I don't know everything about it, it's more the sports director than the performance cell, but we have this data system that shows us where the riders are the most valuable to race. I think that's quite special. I've never seen this in any team before. Of course, cycling is a lot about feeling. But if you already can be guided for 90% with data, it can make life more easy and more accurate, especially in a case like this, when you have 101 days, 101 races on 100 days.
It's going to be a complicated puzzle to put together for sure. So any information we can have to maximize the outcomes we can get from that period will be very beneficial.
Okay.
I mean, the points tracking, field strength analysis, the race results tracking, all of that kind of stuff. It's like real advanced analytics, actually, and all that information is sitting in systems, but to bring it into a dashboard that we can analyze it is pretty amazing. And so we're very fortunate to be able to have that at our fingertips, because it helps us make more informed, better decisions. And so, it's exciting times ahead. It's going to be challenging, and the medical side is going to be challenging around, just keeping everybody safe and healthy. And then the logistics is going to be interesting in terms of, flights and travel and all that. So it's going to be exciting, and we look forward, obviously, to seeing everybody and the fans out there as we start pinning numbers on our jerseys. Let's hope.
Yeah. And now some good training. I go out for a ride, and I expect you guys have some meetings now. So let's get to the end of this call. Maybe you guys can say that the watchers of this video should subscribe to this channel.
Definitely subscribe, like and subscribe. The videos are great. Victor, you're doing an awesome job. I love what you're doing, and keep it up.
Yeah, click left corner, there's the subscribe button. Hit it. I'm Victor's biggest fan. Or up here, I'm Victor's biggest fan. You can't break me. Yeah, there's a video here, and you can see the picture of Victor up above. Enjoy it, subscribe. You will lose out if you don't.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Thanks, Victor.
What a lovely conversation. Cool. Thanks for making this time. It's valuable, and we will make a valuable movie about it.